What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back finally with some race spec F1 esports footage back again on the channel, but this time not the Pacific Series. Well, in some way it is still the Pacific Series, but not the Pacific Series you are well accustomed to previously that I did on the channel. This is the F2 Pacific Series, if you haven't worked out already. Especially with these cars, or especially with this car on board right now, which you'll be able to see. This is on board with my one and only lap here, because it is one-shot qualifying as we lock up going in down into turn one. So we're off to a fantastic start. Now, this was put out, I think, oh god, a fair while back. This obviously is a fair while back ago. Don't judge me, but it was the call was put out for like whether wanted to do like another F2 series, because you remember the last time I did an F2 series back in race spec. Obviously it was a one-off, and it was back back the end of last year, early in 2020, I think, from memory. So, but yeah, and it was all sort of mixed in one, so it wasn't just like what it is now, which I'll explain it a little bit later on, but it's like last time it was Pacific, Euro and Americas, I want to say, were mixed together all in one sort of thing that time around. But I think from memory it might have just been Pacific and Europe, I don't know. But yeah, this time around they've decided to like split it up into like, you know, different well, obviously different regions sort of thing. So like obviously got, I think the Americas possibly doing one, I think the Euros I think are doing one, and what we're seeing now, the F2 Pacific Series. So we're back again for another season. We're going to hopefully do the full season in this league. Obviously I have had a bit of knowledge in the F2 cars previously, but that's mainly on Xbox. I only had once on the PS4, but Gaming Wafer absolutely smashed us there with a 39.666, I think you'll find that was. Yes, it was, for position one. Our lap was shocking, let's be honest, with especially the car that we're in, which I'll get into in a minute. But there's the overall results after one-shot qualifying. Gaming Wafer had a Schmitty. Spilly ended up in P3. Zach qualified in 9th on the mediums, but I think he mucked up where you can start on whatever tyre you want. In the feature race, I think it is the first one, and yeah, screwed it up, so that's why he's down in P9 a little bit there. Might have got screwed over a little bit there from what I heard in some other videos, but anyway, we're obviously P18. My teammate is down in P20, so not ideal starts for the start of the season here at Bahrain, but yeah, here we go on the grid for the feature race. Just having a look around, see what everybody is going to do in terms of tyre strategies. There's a little bit of a mixture, you could say, but I think for where we are in P18, we're going to go onto the medium tyres and come in later on in the race onto the soft compounded tyres, as I'm about to show you a list now of who's driving where for this season in the F2 Pacific Series, as we're about to set off now for all the formation. If you can pause the video if you can check it out.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Thank you, Jeff, as always. So you would have obviously seen we are in the MP Motorsport cars for this season, as we nearly collided to the back of one of the BWT I think that's Aussie Sus BCT there. But I'll try and explain it a little bit here. So there was quite a few drivers that signed up for this league, and we were split up into 3 different pools. They had like Pool A, Pool B, and Pool C, which was reserves, I believe. I can't remember it entirely, but that's how it was. So we had to choose one from like Pool A, Pool B, and Pool C. And yeah, this is where we are. So we're here at MP Motorsport. We're in the Go car, obviously, in Mahaver Gudathan's car. So hopefully we can have a decent season. I won't say it'll be winning every time, but here we go. All set for the first round. 5 red lights. Let's do it around Bahrain for the feature race here, and it's a decent-ish start. Nearly gets squeezed there from Aussie Sus BCT there. But also got Toddy's point of view there as well in the top right of screen. As we get a warning there, I think, for a collision there. So we're just taking it nice and cautiously. Nearly ran into the other BWT Ardern car of Tear Lunacy. But we're basically back where we were there, as we missed just a little bit of action there. I will bring up a lot of replay cams. There's very angry side pod. I haven't raced with him for quite a while, so it's great to be racing back with him again. He's in the Trident car, as we're having a little bit of side-by-side moments there. We just managed to make our way through there, but yeah, sort of just playing. We're playing the cautious game through here. If any carnage occurs up in front here, then we'll just be ready and waiting to pick up the what's the word? Pick up the something or other. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm not great at remembering a lot of things anyway, but we're going side by side there. Oh, there we go, up the inside of Aussie Sus BCT there. I think we might get the move done. If we get the drive out of here, we might be able to. There was a lot of action, I think it was going on Toddy's point of view, so I apologise about that, but there's a lot going on in this race, let's put it that way. There's a lot of stuff going on in the foreground there as Aussie Sus BCT actually managed to get ahead of us. Or Breno and Lunacy actually got together there. And that gives Sus BCT the momentum there. We're going to try and go right around the outside here on Breno, which does not really work out at all there as we get a little bit sideways. Iceman, I think, went for a really bold move there on Breno. It didn't work out. We managed to get away with it. Same can't be said for possibly my teammate, but I think Very Angry Side Pod was probably the other one that got caught up possibly in that. So we might have to check a replay out of it later on there as both the Arden cars are going side by side here on the front straight. I have no idea. I think that possibly is Aussie Sus BCT on the right. It's a bit hard to tell from my previous screen there. Look at Breno there, right on the back there in the dams. And he might be actually going for a move down here into turn one. Ooh, not quite. There might have been contact, I don't actually know, but Aussie's going well and truly way off the track there. So that's a free position there. So we're now up into 16th place. Thank you, Jeff, for the kind compliment there, as always. But, yeah, we're just sort of, like I said, we're just playing the cautious game here. Obviously, there's quite a few guys that are on the soft compounded tyres. As I think Aussie's now going for another spin there, just coming out of turn 8 there, by the looks of things. And it is quite easy to spin. I did notice throughout both these races that if you just get on the power just that little bit too early there, as we make a move up the inside here, I'll tell you later to see the other Arden car. It is quite easy. If you just get on the power just a little bit too early, you'll easily lose the back end of the car, and probably the wall will be awaiting there. We'll get up the inside of Lunacy there at the final, penultimate corner, you could say. But now we're going to go side by side here down the front straight. It's now DRS is enabled here on lap 3. As he's still side by side here going down into turn 1. Just playing the cautious game here, but I think we've managed to get the move done. Yes, we have. But I knew he was going to line up another move here going down here, which is another DRS straight here. So those are actually DRS is now enabled, obviously, but I don't think it's quite fully enabled yet. I don't know, but we'll cover the inside line there. Bit of slide contact there, not too bad. But we're now still going side by side. And I think now we should have the next corner. Yes, we do, going into turn 6. I think that is, and 7. Yes, it is. And we get it done. There's a bit of action as well. We're going in front there. Looks like someone was going for a move up in the foreground there, but we've still got Lunacy up the back end as well. But I think we're finally cleared in there as yellow flags. Something's occurred in front here. Don't know. Again, we'll have to bring out replay cameras there to see what has happened there. It's a bit hard to tell on my point of view there, but it looked like something was happening a little bit sideways coming through. That was out of turn 11 into 12 there, but like I was saying, you just lose the back end of the car. There's contact again up in front there. It looked like Dr. Dre there in the Prema, whichever way you like to call it. But he comes into the pit lane. He's obviously on the soft compounded tyres as well, so I don't know whether he got damage from that or whether he's just wanted to get off the tyres here as well. But you see here, there's a bit of a battle here going for a bit of a 3 wide action. Oh my goodness me! There's been a flip of a car there. I mean, that pretty much just caught my attention there. It didn't matter that I got 3 spots out of it, so thank you guys for that one. We'll get some replays off the start. He's on board with Plebs. I must apologise as well. I don't usually make graphics for like the F2 cars. I haven't made any on this game. I might consider it when F1 2020 does come out, but at this stage, you don't have to put up with this, unfortunately. So, again, I apologise. It looked like, that might have been Plebs that might have squeezed out side pod there a little bit. It was a bit hard to tell there whether he knew where the side pod was there. There's Lunacy having a look up the inside. A lot of action going on in the foreground there, as you can see. It gets back past ahead of Lunacy again. Who's that? That looks like Crossy and Sharu powered by Sauber. Oh, Sauber, whatever it is. Sauber Junior Team powered by Sharu. Whatever the hell it's called these days. Look at that's Kick Butt Kiwi there in the, what is that? The Univirtuoso cars. Big Dongo there, and the Camp Boss had a big moment there. Oh, God, that's not easy. Getting a couple of cars through there. Toe, EZ, Rudy NZ made the move in the Carlin. Tried to go around the outside. I think Breno was trying to get himself in there, but it didn't quite work out in the end. And here we go again with Plevs. It's Kick Butt Kiwis pretty much in a Premo sandwich there with his teammate, Plevs' teammate Dr. Dre just in the foreground there. And now coming through turn 12. Not quite getting around here. Actually does the switchback, does Kick Butt Kiwi. Again, there's battles galore. Dre goes very, very deep. And actually Plevs will get the run as well. And I think he'll get the move done. Yes, he does. But again, there's still battlings going on. Kick Butt Kiwis covering the inside line here. So I think that's Donga and so EZ, Rudy NZ as Kick Butt Kiwi goes very deep into turn 14, the penultimate corner. So very wide there, coming down the pit straight there. It was a bit hard to tell, again, who it was. You'll be able to see it when this video does come out, but who it was. But up the inside he goes into turn 1. And I think you'll get it done. No, they're going to, excuse me, I'm losing my voice already and hasn't even been cut. 10, has it been 10? Oh, a bit over 10 minutes. Excuse me. It's now these two still going side by side here. Again, through into turn 4. These guys are going to nearly do side by side through the whole race here. But I think you'll find Plevs does get the move done in the end there and gets up into P11 here. Is on board with the angry side pod. Let me just take a quick drink for a second.
Fuck me, what a set to start.
Had a murdered BK and he was on the softs.
Of course, side pod footage does include some party chat, so
oh god, it's so
look at how close that was there between he and Kick Butt Kiwi. He's a bit hard to tell.
Leb's just fucking squeezed me hard. Nah, so I go, oh my god, man, I got fucking shafted hard, dude.
It's great to say that nothing's changed with side pod. Unfortunately, there's me going a bit sideways, and yeah, unfortunately, it was side pod that did get caught up with Iceman. Yeah, he was pretty lucky that I didn't actually spin out there as well.
Iceman, how did he lose it there, dude?
But yeah, not ideal for side pod, unfortunately. Might have to continue on with the front wing damage because he's on the medium compounded tyres. Iceman's on the softs. May have gotten away with that.
Turn 1, boys.
Not entirely sure there, but he's on board with my teammate for this round, Dan the Racer. So again, I think he's just taking a nice precaution. But he nearly got squeezed there on the... Well, we sort of did get squeezed a little bit there on the pit straight. I got a pretty decent start off the line there. Iceman had a pretty terrible start off the line, but Dan's just taking it nice and cautiously here, coming through into turn 1. Right at the back here of Iceman in the ART. Of course, his teammate did qualify on pole. A bit of quite a contrast between the two ARTs here. It is what occurred here. So you see Iceman, I don't know whether there was contact with he and Breno or whether he just did it on his own, but side pod obviously got caught up. Dan managed to just get away with that. Picked the right line in the end to Dan. But back up to the front we go here. This is on board back with Toddy in the Univirtuoso. You can tell he's on Guan Yu Zhou's car. There's quite a battle here, battling here for... what's this, for 3rd, 4th and 5th, I think, in a race between Pure Gold in the Dams, BK in the Campos, and Spilly in the Tridents. There's a little bit of contact between those guys in front. It's going to give Toddy a nice run here coming out of the first couple of corners here. Going side by side through here as he breaks very deep there and manages to get it done. Of course, Toddy is on the mediums. We'll point that out as well. A few of the other guys are on softs. Both BK and Spilly are definitely on softs. You could go with Dan the Racer. There's what happened to Aussie back on, well, you probably saw behind me, but occurred in front of me there. He's back aboard here with a very angry side pod. Oh, really, my word.
Iceman, fuck off, you gronk. Who the fuck is this Iceman cunt?
Just does not care for Iceman there. Obviously, there's a side pod. Just back out of the road there, and there's a pretty big dive bomb there, not going to lie, but just runs a little bit wide.
Iceman CS13 is?
Going side by side here into turn 11. And he should get the move done. Little bit of contact. Manages to get away with that, but Iceman now finally does get the move done. Now back we go here with Toddy on lap 3. He's got obviously Spilly in front there, and of course Pure Gold in the dams. It looks like Spilly might have a good run here on Pure Gold. He does. And into turn 4 here. So I think the top two have started to just pull away a little bit. Spilly goes just manages to hang on here. No, Pure Gold might have the switch back here. But no, has to settle back in behind for the time being. But this is bringing Toddy back into here. Oh, Spilly getting a little bit sideways by. Word, that was close. And Toddy had to take a body. Actually, goes around the outside. And I think he's going to get the move done on Pure Gold somehow. I do not know how he's done that, but he gets himself up into P4. Now, you probably all remember, okay, that might explain why that yellow flag was out for. It looked like possibly Pure Gold maybe got into the back of Toddy there, or whether that was Constantina effect or something. I don't know. No, I don't know there, but I think BK may have got caught up in that as well. Would not be surprised if he's got front wing damage. If he hasn't, that is an absolute miracle. But now Toddy and Zach are going side by side through here, and I think he's just managed to hold on in front of Zach. Both Zach there, but okay, back we go with Plebs. I think this is on lap 3. Okay, this was the lap before the incident occurred here. So side by side here with Toei Z, Rudy and Zed in the Carlin. There's Crossy and Big Donga playing battle here. That was a bit awkward to say there. Battling there for P8. I think Donga's now got the move done. Please do not demonetize this video whenever this channel gets monetized. But Plebs got really sideways coming out of turn 4 there. Like I said, it is quite easy. You just get on the power just a little bit too early. You can easily spin up in the car there. A bit hard to tell there on the point of view. Unless you put it back, you have to like rewind back a little bit to see what was going on there with those guys. But look at that, nearly 3 wide here with BK, Toddy and Zach. Now Plebs up the inside here again of Toei Z, Rudy and Zed. Again, I apologise if I got the gamer tag wrong. This battle going side by side. Where the hell did Crossy come from out of all this? Didn't even recognise he was there, but he might have been there. I just wasn't looking properly. Look at this. The Campos gang are sort of ganging up a little bit on the Sauber Junior team powered by Sharu. That'd be Crossy, obviously. And now Plebs just playing cautiously through here. Crossy and Donga going side by side. Now on the straight here, and looks like Plebs to try to get back into the slipstream here pretty quickly here. This will nearly be 3 wide in a minute here. Here comes both the Campos cars. I think Plebs will have to back out of it a little bit here. Good call in the end. But again, this is difference in the tyre strategies. Crossy on the mediums, and softs with the Big Donga, BK, and Plebs. Probably a little bit surprised. Maybe some guys didn't maybe do like different strategies, like one guy does one strategy and the other does another one. As here comes BK out of nowhere. Going for a quick dive bomb there on Crossy. There's a little bit of contact. Oh, Plebs got front wing damage. You saw at the back end there. That was where all the chaos happened. Behind, with that big flip there. We'll have another look here at another replay before we get to the big crash of what occurred. But this is Toddy and Zach. This is the penultimate corner. This was all going on while the other guys were battling behind here, mind you. But yeah, I think it was. Yeah, here comes Zach in the Nobuharu Matsushita's car in the Carlin entry. This is in car number 2. Obviously, who was in number 1? Louis Delatraz, I think, was in car number 1. But Zach does get the move done on Toddy and up into position 5. But I don't think Toddy will be quite done with here yet. Might have a look here up the inside. As Zach does leaving the room. He goes in deep. But Zach will do the crisscross and he gets it back. So didn't quite work out in the end for Toddy, unfortunately. Now, we'll go on board with his teammate here because this is what occurred with all the carnage here. That was a little bit close for comfort there between those two. They were going 3 wide here and, kick butt Kiwi just goes for a nice flip and comes away with it without any damage. It's just truly incredible how he has got away. Oh, he's got away with damage, with no damage there. I'll get my words right in a minute. That's that was truly incredible. Certainly, definitely that was an eyesight to see on my point of view. Anyway, but there's all the chaos there in the foreground. As here comes Kickbuck Kiwi, comes back out in, I think, 17th, my apologies. It was Iceman got back by on Dan the Racer. But back we go to our point of view. We haven't done a point of view for a little bit, obviously catching up with everybody else's replays, but now we're going to go side by side with Breno in the other dams. Had a little bit of a think up the inside there in the penultimate corner, but thought it was much better to maybe get the drive out of this corner here as, Plebs has now come into the pit lane. Obviously, he did have the front wing damage, so I think that was the reasoning why, but there's a few guys that are still continuing on with soft compounded tyres. And so we go very deep there into turn 1. We did get the move done on Breno, but I knew for sure he was going to come back at us here on this next straight, obviously with the second of the DRS on this straight. But don't really put up much of a fight here. We just leave in the room. He thinks about it up the inside, but we've got to try see if we can get the drive out of here. This is probably at a time, I think, when soft tyres usually start to go off a little bit. I don't know. This is the first time that I've driven around Bahrain in an F2 car here, and when I saw this on my screen here with Breno Red Xing here, I actually thought for a minute that was actually something to do with my internet. But you'll see in a minute here, actually, Breno's internet, I think, played up a little bit there for some unknown reason. But he's now left the session. I think he does rejoin eventually. But that was a nice, easy free spot back for us there. So you jump up into 9th place and Breno back into 10th place. But this is Plebs' pit stop here. Obviously the change of the front wing, obviously with the damage. I think he's in the KFC car. That'll be Sean Galeo's car that he's driving. Hence why it's got all the KFC logos there. So nice free plug there for KFC. But obviously it does take a little bit longer, these pit stops in F2, obviously because there's not as many guys in F2 as there's like not too many guys in the pit lane compared to in F2 compared to F1, obviously. So but back we go to very angry side pod, who's under attack here from Aussie Sus BCT in the Arden. Going to leave him room here as he gets sideways out of the corner there and does lose the spot in the end to Aussie. So he'll have to try to get back that position. Obviously, he's still battling with the wing damage as well. Okay, back to my teammate, Dan the Racer. This is when other guys were pitting. Oh, no, sorry. When Plebs was pitting, my apologies. There's Kickbuck Kiwi getting the move done for 12th position. And puts Dan back into 13th place there in the end. But now back we go here with Toddy, who seems to be has a pretty decent pace here at the moment. The fastest final sector there. I think Zach in front has the fastest lap at the moment currently, but there's Zach up the inside. Went way too deep there, I think, on Pure Gold, but I think he'll just manage to hang on for the now. But he will have to cover, heading sideways coming out of turn 3. This will be interesting to see what happens here with these two in front. I think Zach may just hang on here. Pure Gold might have a look here, but no, I think Zach has managed to pull that off there, so big ups to him. There's at the end of lap 5, on the lap 6 now. Big Dongan does come into the pit lane. Like I said, this is probably the time when the soft tyre compound runners start to fall off a little bit there. There's a yellow flag there in sector 2. I think this is why. So I think it looked like a Trident dot. And around goes side pod. A little bit of a spin. And he got to go a bit more front wing damage now for poor old side pod.
Man, my race has gone to fucking shit.
Summed it up. Summed it up there from Very Angry Side Pod there. But back we go with Toddy, who's again set a fastest middle sector. Again, a couple of guys coming into the pit lane, but now, obviously, I think that was near the end of the soft compound tyre runners. But there goes Toddy up the inside of Pure Gold. That's for 3rd in this race. As Zach gets squirmish out of the turn 3 there. See if Toddy wants to have another go here into turn 4. He's already tried it once. Has to brake a little bit deeper. Run up the gearbox of the Carlin is Toddy. He gets a bit sideways coming out of the corner, so that's ruined his momentum. He should be able to build it up in the next few laps here as we set another personal best on lap 7. Spilly and Gaming Wafer have come into the lane, obviously, because they were the other guys, I think, on the soft compounded tyres. I don't think there's too many left of the guys on the softs. I don't believe, but I could be wrong there. As back we go with Sidepod, who's down in, he's in 10th position, obviously. He's behind, ahead of Big Donga, but of course, obviously Big Donga's come in for a fresh set of medium tyres. Like I said, Sidepod has to put up with the medium tyres for the time being, obviously with the front wing damage, until he can get onto the soft compounded tyres. There's Kickbutt Kiwi making his way out of the lane. There's an ART, that's Iceman, I think that is. Yes, it is. As I think Plebs has got the move done. Yes, he has on Kickbutt Kiwi, but now it's going to be very interesting how this plays out here. Couldn't quite go 3 wide there. I think Plebs wants to clear Iceman as quick as he can, but he knows the Kickbutt Kiwi's on fresh rubber. So they nearly were 3 wide there. Well, for a brief moment, I think there were 3 wide, but I think he just wants to clear Iceman as quickly as he can. Let's send it up the inside here into turn 8. And it's just to slow it down. Just can't quite get the drive out of there. Look out, here comes Kickbutt Kiwi coming down the inside here. It's not really much of a passing spot here into turn 9 and 10, but I think he manages to hang on to it. Yes, he does. It plays well to get the DRS, obviously, from the back of Iceman. Don't know where the Kickbutt Kiwi does. A bit hard to tell there because quick going backwards and forwards. Again, they're still going side by side here. Up into turn 11 and into 12. You can slightly get 2 cars through there. He might have. There's Kickbutt Kiwi. He does. So, great race between these two. It's a battle for 14th and 15th, but obviously, once the rest of the pit stop cycles out, it will change up a little bit there. Might have been a good weave there for the good racing there. There's my teammate in the lane. I'm already losing my voice, and we're not even, I don't think, halfway through the video there, as makes his way out of the pit lane right about now. It'll be interesting to see where he pops out, because there's guys coming down that have already done their stops here. I think he'll be awkward there. 17th, 16th place are gone. There's 18th and 19th, with BK and Brenner going side by side here. A little bit of contact there between those two, but I think BK comes out of it much better there. But back to us. We set another personal best on that lap. Not much happened on my point of view, as you can probably tell in these next few laps here. But the guys in front obviously started to, obviously it was still going at this point of stage. But Donga has a big sideways moment coming out of there. That's easy pickings there for Sidepod, but not quite over yet. Sidepod does have DRS. I don't think Big Donga does, but it's very deep as he dares the Sidepod. Now these two are going to go side by side through turns 4 and 5. As Sidepod breaks a little bit deeper, but he runs wide. That could compromise his run a little bit. I think you'll have to cover down the inside here if he doesn't want Big Donga to come up the inside there. It's can't quite get the drive out of there as Big Donga goes around the outside. I think he'll get the move done. Yes, he will. Into turn 10 is getting very close there between those guys. But, so that's put Big Donga into P10 there. As back we go to my teammate, who's under attack here from Toei Z Rudy NZ in the other Carlin entry. Ooh, a little bit of slight contact there, but no harm, no foul there. And Dan's back into last place at the current moment of stage. As Toddy is absolutely flying here at the moment. It's just the fastest lap of the race. Now he's battling away here with Zach into turn 1. He's currently position 2 at the moment, with Schmitty leading the way at the current moment. Of course, these guys are on the medium, so like myself, so they'll be going long, as Toddy will have to cover down the inside here into turn 4. Make sure that Zach doesn't get the move up the inside here, and make sure it doesn't get a crisscross. But I think he might hang on to it here. Yes, he does. So that's Toddy back up into second place, especially after his little spin that he had earlier on. There's a battle here with Iceman, Kickbutt Kiwi, and Plebs. Again, they nearly go 3 wide. Again, just playing the cautiously through here. They both get by Iceman. And Plebs trying to do the crisscross coming out of turns 2 and 3. But I don't think it's quite close enough there for a move, unfortunately. But there we go. Again, back to us. Point of view here. As I think there's a couple of guys that have come into the lane here for their stops. I think Zach and Pilgold were the guys that come in for their pit stops. So they might be trying for a little bit of an undercut here as well. As back we go to Plebs. Oh, hello. Iceman come out of nowhere there. Got a big dive bomb out of nowhere there. And as they're still going side by side somehow. I think Plev's saying, no, mate, not a big fan of that big dive bomb there. But his side pod, finally, he'd be glad to get rid of that front wing, that is for sure. And obviously get off the medium tyres and go onto the softs, but this will put him, I think, dead last. And
how is that a
won't, obviously,
safety car, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's calling for a slight safety car later in this race to maybe save him, but at this stage, not looking possible at the moment here. But we're about to begin lap 11 here. We're still going to push on here as Toddy, Schmitty, and yeah, it was just Toddy and Schmitty there. I forgot Zach spitted the last lap with Pure Gold. They've obviously trying to do like the undercut, like I said, but yeah, we're continuing on. Myself and Crossy, I think, are the last ones left on the medium competitor tyres. Well, one of the few last ones left. There's Schmitty just leaving the lane there in the other Sauber Junior team by Charoux.
Go now.
Does take a little bit longer, these F2 pit stops, obviously, like I mentioned. It is quite different to the F1 pit stops, that's for sure. But when does Toddy rejoin here? Remember, Zach was pretty close to him here. Zach does get the undercut on Toddy here. It's, of course, 1 lap difference in tyres. May prove to be a big difference there with those guys.
And it looks like this set is coming to the end of its life. We don't anticipate having much more time before it's completely gone. The grip loss will be sudden, so be ready.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Just giving us an update on the tyre wear. Now, I was good pretty much at this time of the race. I was going to be pretty much boxing at the end of this lap. I think Crossy was probably going to do the same thing as well. And obviously the first guy that has done his pit stop is Gaming Wafer. He's the effective race leader. Once obviously myself and Crossy come into the lane, which Crossy is coming into the lane, so we're going to dive it in as well. Make sure we get it slow down to the 60k mark, I think, for this route, and we're into the lane. We're obviously skipping ahead as Crossy's already done his pit stop. Zach now sets the fastest lap of the race, obviously with those soft compounded tyres, so he's trying to get clear of Toddy as we now exit the lane now onto the soft compounded tyres. It'll be interesting to see where we pop out in comparison with everybody else here, because there's a gang coming up the pit straight here.
Let's get some heat into
I think, well, Kickbutt Kiwi's is one of them. I think another Premier is another one. They're battling away here. Well, we're going to come out in P9 here, which is not a bad spot to come out of, if I say so myself here. So we've just got to try and hopefully, I was trying to break the slipstream obviously on Kickbutt Kiwi here, going right down the white line just to make sure of it. But we should hopefully have this covered for 9th place. Be a bit tough and touch and go maybe to get 8th place. Big Donger a bit further up the road there. But you never know with these tyres, especially with the amount of laps we've still got in this race. As this was going on behind, so it was obviously Kickbutt Kiwi, Dr. Dre and Plebs. But I think Dre's going to let his teammate go through here, so good sportsmanship there between both the Premers. Of course, Dre obviously came in, I think, a couple of laps earlier than Plebs did, so that might explain the difference with the tyre wear as well. As Toddy has a little look up the inside, but I think he's sort of lining up Zach here for the front straight, more likely than going down the inside, because you muck that up, then you'll easily get back past him on down the... Zach will probably get back past him down the front straight here, but yeah, it's just easy down the inside there. It gets it done even before the corner there, as he now into 4th place, now chasing after Spilly, the first guy on the medium compounded tyres. I think Schmitty's not far behind Wafer.
The gap to the car ahead is 8.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:43.6.
Just getting an update on Big Donga. No penalties, unfortunately, as side pod's now out of the race. This will probably explain it, as again he goes into the turn 8. And I think he's
retiring.
Yeah, he's got to call it quits there, unfortunately, for side pod. So, yeah, been a terrible feature race, unfortunately. Hopefully, it'll change in the sprint race in the next one here. But you'll see here that probably in the next couple of laps, just sort of just trying to break the slipstream a little bit there from Kickbutt Kiwi behind us. We pick up a 3-second time penalty as well,
Go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
which doesn't help our cause there, considering he's not far behind as well. So we've got to literally gap him by 3 seconds just to hang on to position 9. Otherwise, we'll be back in 10th for the sprint race. As here comes Todd, he sets the fastest lap of the race, and he's now going to make a move up the inside here on Spilly for 3rd. This is for the podium, effectively. Gaming Wafer is currently 2nd. I think Schmitty might be leading the way at the moment. But these two have had their fair share of history in the past, both Toddy and Spilly, but I think you'll find that Toddy just hangs on for now. Has a little bit of a look there to Spilly, but not quite close enough in the end there. But we set our personal best that lap there, obviously. First run on the soft compounded tyres. I think it was like a 40, what was it? Probably didn't actually record this, did I? No, probably not. Yeah, but you probably would have seen it on your screen anyway. But this is the penultimate lap here as Toddy's now all over the back here of Gaming Wafer. This is for the second place. Schmitty, I think, has got this one in the bag here unless something dramatically happens with him. Let's go side by side. Just Wafer maybe just squeezed him a little bit. I say a little bit, not too much. But this is bringing Spilly back into the fight as well. But back to our point of view, there's not a lot happened as we set our personal best of the race, which was a 1 minute 42. Where is it here? If I get the right numbers here. Oh, I did write it down here. 42.335, I think, on lap 13, and 42.313 on lap 14. But look at Wafer, all right down the white line there, going down the back straight. Oh, that was a little bit of ghosting there. Very lucky that didn't end up badly for a Gaming Wafer. Oh, someone's gone around there. I think that may have been Spilly. That may have. I don't know whether there was contact with he and Zach or whether that was all Spilly's doing there. But Wafer going right down the pit lane entry there, going right down the white line, making sure that Toddy does not get by here. Does not want to lose a spot here. Obviously, with wherever you finish in this race, obviously in the sprint race, it'll be the reverse top 8. There's a little bit of contact between those guys as Toddy gets a 3-second time penalty. And here comes Zach joining into the party as well. So wherever you finish, obviously you'll get the most points in this race, but wherever you finish in this race, they'll obviously be reversed for the sprint race. So top 8 will get reversed. So Toddy finally gets by Wafer, I think, from memory. Yeah, but we're now on to the final lap now of the Grand Prix. We haven't quite gapped Kick Butt Kiwi the 3 seconds that I was hopeful for, but I'm literally just trying everything I can in these last few laps here, as I think Breno had another couple of moments through the race. So we're just sort of just trying to break the slipstream here, just literally just trying everything, just get him outside the 3-second bracket here. But anyway, wasn't to be. We come across the line in 9th place, but we do drop to 10th place because of the penalty, and we just obviously managed to hang on to P10 in the Grand Prix, so for this feature race. So we'll start 10th again for the sprint race. But there's the podium for the first race of the Pacific Series. So Schmitty ended up winning the Grand Prix ahead of Toddy and Wafer and Toddy, I think, in the end. Yes, I think it was, yeah, because of Toddy's 3-second penalty. Forgot about that. So quickly run through it. So those are the top 3. Spilly 4th in the end. Zach in 5th. Pure Gold. Crossy, the Big Donger, Kickbutt Kiwi, and myself. Then you got Plebs in 11th. Iceman in 12th. Toey Zed. Dr. Dre in 14th. I hopefully go down the list and you'll see all the way down to Sidepod, who finished up in last position there. My teammate ended up 18th place, so not too bad overall.
The whole team are rooting for you. Show them what you can do.
Thank you, Jeff. As we get ready to go for the sprint race, it's basically pretty simple here. Obviously, sprint race, you're only on the one set of tyres, which is the harder compound. So we're pretty much on the medium tyres for this race to start with. So, yeah. But anyway, we're obviously on our way now for the formation lap. So top, like I mentioned, if you're new to Formula 2 and you don't watch Formula 2, which of course I've now become a big fan, obviously. But top 8 do get reversed. So Schmitty, who won that race, does flip back to 8th place. So we're going to start out at 10th as well. So, and I think the top 8 only saw points in this race. It was top 10 the last run, but here we go. We're all set for the second one. 5 red lights. Longer hole, but let's do it around Sakia circuit again, as we have on board here with players on the top right of the screen. He got a decent start. I think it was Kick Butt Kiwi that went nowhere off the line there. We got a decent start as well, I think, on Gaming Wafer. As Plebs goes right around the outside there. What a start by Plebs. He's already made up a couple of spots there. We go side by side here with that Toei Zed, Rudy and Zed. Wafer, I don't think, had a great start overall there, so I'm not sure what happened to him. Schmitty battling away there with Plebs. This is a little bit of contact on the top right of screen there. Looked like Big Donger and somebody else. Couldn't quite work out who it was, but we're still going side by side here with Toei Z Ready and Z. As we go, still going side by side. There's a little bit of contact between Schmitty and players. As Toddy now goes for a spin. So that's not going to help things not going to help Toddy's sprint race, that is for sure.
Okay, that's a good
They'll
start.
be right at the back of the pack here, but of course, with everyone obviously being on the same compound tyre, it might be made interesting, and it is a shorter race as well. Obviously, with being a 50% race, pointing out as well for both races, as everybody's going down, making sure they're covering down the inside line there, but I don't think it was too much drama. Not too bad off the start there, besides that one with Toddy, but he making his way back to the grid, hopefully. There's yellow flags behind. I think someone else has gone for a spin. We have a little bit of a gape there, just showing Plebs the nose there a little bit, as Big Donger and I think Schmitty maybe had a little bit of contact there. Don't know, hopefully Schmitty has not got much front wing damage there, but might have got away with it, but didn't quite get the drive coming out of the final corner there. And the reason you're seeing the red X's on my screen now is that's mainly to do with my internet. It's nothing to do with these guys' internet. Obviously, they've got much better, or some of these guys have got much better internet compared to me. But lap 3, we're now under attack from BK, who's now making his way back through the grid here. Not sure what happened to him in the first race, to be honest. He was right up there to start with, but it just sort of dropped away a little bit there. But we're really under attack here from BK in the Campos car. We're all still staying single file there for the current moment. So we're just trying to break the slipstream there. No, so it might have been, was there yellow flags behind? Hard to say there, but I think it was, no, sorry, it might have been a battle going on in front there. But Zach sets the fastest lap for the moment, time being, as we begin on lap 4 here. We're going to have to cover the inside line here because I knew BK was coming like a flash there. It's now Toddy sets the fastest lap of the race, so we keep an eye out for him as we go very deep there into turn 1. We might have made a little bit of contact to BK. Apologies about that one, but it was literally out of my hands there. I don't quite know the braking points in these cars compared to F1 cars. But now we might come under a bit of attack here as up the inside goes Toei Z Ready and Z. No, sorry, we're going side by side with him. I thought for a second we were going side by side with somebody else, but no, it's Wafer behind there. So he's not made much inroads there in this race. Just taking nice and cautiously through here. Up the inside he goes, Toei Z Ready and Z. And I think Waffles maybe had a little bit of a look down the inside as well, but wasn't quite close enough in the end. But we're not done with yet. It's only at the end of lap 4 here. Still a long way to go here. It's now Spilly just the fastest lap, and I think Toei Z Ready and Z knew that I was coming back here. Because we obviously will get the DRS here. We should power by here on the front straight here. I probably should have mentioned as well, for this league, well, all the F2 leagues at the moment, it's all stock setup as well. So everybody is on the same setup, barring, of course, whatever preference you have for the brake bias. That's pretty much the only thing you can change here. But we're now going side by side here again with Toei Z Ready and Z. Here comes Waffles. We're going to get nearly squeezed in here. This Waffles goes for quite a big dive bomb there. We get squeezed out big time, but we lose 3 spots out of all of that. That didn't end well. Oh, Toei Z's going way wide there. It might have been a bit of contact with the guys in front there. There was 3 wide, was never going to work there, but we're really out of our comfort zone at the moment as we nearly go to the back there and nearly spinning out Breno. Well, he was in a bit of a half spin there, was Breno, but managed to just avoid that, thankfully. But coming to turn 9, we've gone for a spin. I think Toddy may have just finished us off there. Well, obviously, I'll bring up a replay, obviously, a bit later on about what occurred there, but that's put us right back to the back of the grid now. So we're basically dead last. So, yeah, wasn't ideal, to say the least. But now I'm pretty much hoping for a safety car later in this race. But, all right, back we go to the start here. He's on board with Toddy. As he gets a nice start off the line there. Spilly went absolutely nowhere. Same can be said for Big Donger there. As going to the outside, I think that was Pure Gold. Crossy and Zach going 3 wide as Donger nearly squeezed Toddy there into turn 1. So Toddy was having none of that. As Pure Gold and Zach going side by side through turn 3 and managing to get the move done here as Toddy has to cover down the inside of Big Donger. He might have to make a move up the inside. It was contact, I think, between he and Big Donger. Thankfully, there's no damage done. Thankfully, as he and Spilly going side by side, there is contact between these two. Again, more contact, and that explains the spin, or the half spin. Well, no, unfortunately, it was still sort of a half spin there in the end, but it wasn't quite a full spin there. But I did say those two have had history in the past, and it's sort of reared its ugly head again. Replay on board with Very Angry Sidepod from the back of the field, obviously, since he retired from the last race. So Breno gets a nice... Yeah, like you said, Breno got an insane start there. Going side by side there. There's my teammate, obviously,
Zach wants to. Oh god.
being cautious through there. All side by side through here. That's Lunacy there on the far left. Obviously has to take a corner cut warning for that. And he might get the run here. Nice move there for Lunacy. And I think Dan, the racer there, might have got the move done as well. Up the inside here. There's a few cars going three wide here. Side pod getting sideways. Nearly going into the side of Iceman. Those two have obviously had their fair share of battles in the last race, but now see try to get the run out around the outside here. Not ideally positioned around the outside, but you never know. You can pull it off. As it might have been contact there between both the ART cars. I think he's going to get the move done. Yes, he does. So Sidepod does get the move done. I think Lunacy was trying to get the move done as well on whoever that was. I can't remember. It's I only saw that 5 seconds ago. You're an idiot. Anyway, the Iceman, that was who I was thinking of. Now, that was Dan the racer having a look up the inside of Lunacy. Into turn 4. There's sideways there. That was a side pod, but yeah, same probably could be said for Dan the racer. Here's what happened at the final. Okay, so Iceman and someone else. Might have been Lunacy there. Might have had a little bit of contact there. As Lunacy now goes down the pit lane wall there. Nearly, it's a bit awkward when you see it and getting very close to the pit lane entrance there. You don't really want to slam into that. But he got by Dr. Dre as well. But I think Dre's going to have a look up the inside here. Just a little bit of slight contact there. But no harm done. And gets that move done for the time being. And of course, these two are still... Oh, no, sorry, that was the... This is from behind with Toddy. He got squeezed there. But Toddy has to play the patience game. Obviously, he can make a comeback. Obviously, from coming back from that couple of half spins that he had. Up the inside he goes with my teammate. It's sideways out of the corner. Much better drive for my teammate at this stage. But not quite going to go for a move here. I think he might be lining up a move here for turn 8. As he will send it up the inside. I think he does, yes. Double lock up there on the front. A little bit sideways and avoids the crisscross, so he manages to get that move done, does Toddy. It's on board here with... that was a little bit awkward there. Don't know whether Toddy knew that Dre was going to let him go there or something. A bit hard to tell there, but don't think Dre wanted to put up much of a fight there. Back we go to Angry Side Pod. It was obviously a little bit further back. Oh, no, sorry, I should say a bit further up the grid, I should say, because where Toddy was. There's Breno up the inside of Aussie Sus BCT. A bit of contact there. Let's put him off there, and obviously Breno up a position, same with Sidepod. Back we go with Toddy. He's now going to put pressure. Lovely drive out of the corner there at turn 11. Up the inside, side by side with Tear Lunacy, and does get the move done. So he's up into 16th now, and we're chasing after the other BWT Arden car. That'd be, what's his name? No, it's Aussie Sus BCT's. Dan goes a little bit wide coming out of, deep there into turn 9, I should say, and loses a spot there to Iceman. Back we go with Plebs. This was, this is a big couple of laps later. Schmitty and Big Donga. As you can probably tell, not a lot happened on my screen considering when I went back to P20, but we're going back to see all the battles that happened further in front here. Here's Toddy now putting pressure on Aussie Sus BCT. Does cover down the inside a little bit here, so Toddy will have to go around the outside here just to make this move stick. Very close between those two, but if you get the drive out of here, he does, and gets up into 15th place. So making a comeback is Toddy. Back we go with Plebs. You're watching all this battle going on here in front here between Big Dong and Schmitty going very, very wide there. No idea what the go was there. But that's his Crossy, I think, in the Sauber Junior team by Charouz. Lagging a little bit, I think, by the looks of it on Plebs' screen. There's a bit of ghosting, I think, going on there. I think Crossy's jumped a couple of spots there, so he's back into P7. As back we go to Kick Butt Kiwi. This is the 3 wide moment here with me being squeezed by both Wafer and Toey, Z, Rudy and Z. But look at that, Kick Butt Kiwi just goes right around the outside. A little bit of contact between those two there, and I think he may have got the move done.
Yeah,
not entirely sure.
So hard.
But back we go. This is a bit further back with Side Pod.
Fucking hell.
So look at
this isn't going to end well up here, man.
No, and you can tell it never ended well because Toey Z ran wide there. Well, sorry, not ran wide, may have been a bit of contact, like I said, but Kick Butt Kiwi, you can see that's where I went deep. Here comes Toddy.
You're right.
Yeah, Toddy came from nowhere. I didn't even realise he made the move on a Side Pod.
Put me off then, cunt. Fuck.
As Toey said, he really put him off there. But you can probably see in the foreground there. That was the well, you probably have a look on board with Toddy's point of view. Breno getting a bit out of action there, not out of action, but out of sorts there, and he's lost a couple of spots there. But let's have a look on board with Toddy, because literally I did not realise that he'd come from a long way back to get by Side Pod. So there's all the battle going on in front there with those guys. So I think there may have been contact with Wafer and Toey Z. That might have been the reason why he ended up so wide there. But look at the run that Toddy got. It's obviously, it goes up the inside. Obviously, I had my own little moment coming out of the final corner there. Breno gets very sideways. Literally nearly 3 wide. Couple of 2 wide there. A little bit between Toddy and Breno, but gets that move done. Now, let's have a look here. Oh, okay. So there might have been actually contact there between myself and Toddy. Like I said, I originally, when that happened, I just thought I just literally lost the back end, and obviously just Toddy finished me off. But that may not be the case from what I've seen there. But yeah, it's a hard one to say. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Yeah, but you see on my screen here, like I said, I literally thought I just got on the power too early there, but and obviously I thought Toddy had finished me off, but well, that's what I thought originally in this race, but yeah, looking back on the footage there, that might not be the case there. So yeah, that a little bit awkward to say the least there, but anyway, we'll move on from that one. There was no harm done. We did chat about it obviously afterwards, but where I felt like it was probably my own doing there, but yeah, hard to say there. But Plev's on board with here. He's got a red X in Crossy. He's a bit all over the shop there. With looks like his internet's not been playing up a little bit there. So this is not really ideal when you see a red X car. And trust me, a lot of people will have said the same thing about me with my internet. But goes up the inside of Crossy, who will come back a little bit. He'll what's it calling? Jump back in front there. I think that's the better wording there, or lag in front, back in front, whichever way. But this might be helping Plevs a little bit here. It might be hindering him a little bit. This is literally pushing him through the corner there, but of course, and he lags back in front a little bit more there. So this is not helping Plevs a lot there. As back we go to Side Pod. Going to put Breno under attack here. Might have to do it around the outside. You get the better drive out of here. No, not quite. Just to take a corner cut there for track limits. But I don't think he's quite close enough for a move there. I mean, I'm going to turn 4. No, not quite. In the end there. Back we go to my teammate, who's down in 19th place. Obviously, we're down in 20th. It was Dr. Dre there, just, I think, covering down the inside there of Tan Lunacy. Obviously, Iceman's not too far up the road either. So Dan's got a nice point of view of this battle going on up here, so this will help him out quite a lot here. There's Les Lunacy. He's got the DRS. I think Dre may have the DRS as well, not entirely sure, but Dre goes in with a big lock up there, but manages to get away with that. Lunacy nearly loses the back end of the car there. There's Side Pod, and I think that's Aussie South BCT looking for a move, and nearly spins himself out there. Pretty similar to what he did in the feature race. There's a look at that right up on the gearbox there of a very angry Side Pod. You have to make him go around the long way here. But if you can just manage to avoid the crisscross. No, he doesn't. And there goes Aussie Sus BCT, who will get the DRS, I think, as well on the front straight. I don't think Side Pod could do much about it there. So back we go to my teammate. He's battling away with the other Arden, BWC Arden car of Lunacy. He's gone very, very wide. Made an exit of turn 11, and he made that pretty simple there. I don't think he put up much of a fight there. It's, here we go with the teammates, as Kickbutt Kiwi's going to make a move here around the outside, down to the turn 1 here. Oh no, they made contact. I think Kickbutt Kiwi's got a penalty. He's got front wing damage, obviously. But my word, that's a bit awkward for the teammates' sake. But let's have a look on board here with Toddy. This is the lap previously. So Kickbutt Kiwi and Gaming Wafer were having a bit of a battle. A lot of weaving going on there in the front on that straight there. Not sure exactly what's happened there. Whether that's something to do with a bit of contact or something. I don't know. A bit more contact. This Kickbutt Kiwi goes well and truly off the circuit. Has to rejoin back out in just right behind Gaming Wafer. They've obviously got himself a bit of time. They're trying to catch up there. So there's both the teammates now going side by side out of turn 8, 9, and into turn 9 and 10. And Toddy just plays it cautiously through. There's a little bit of contact. I think Toddy should maybe get the right. Oh, well, maybe Kickbutt Kiwi might still have the DRS on the back straight here. It's an interesting fight here down into turn 11. As Toddy goes in deep. He might have to watch out for the crisscross here. He might have to here. Now through turn 12 we go. Might have the inside line here. But whether Kickbutt Kiwi will go for it up the inside into turn 13. As Toddy locks up a little bit. They're literally close to each other. These both the Univirtuoso cars. Obviously, Toddy in Guan Yu Zhou's car and Kickbutt Kiwi in Luca Giotto's car. You can tell the difference with the black and yellow car compared to the black, yellow and blue car. But obviously, Toddy knew he was under attack from his teammate behind here. And let's have a look here, see what happens here. Does Toddy miss his braking point or something? He must do. Oh, he maybe just got a little bit too close there. Maybe didn't realise where Kickbutt Kiwi was braking for the corner there. But yeah. What's the first rule I always say for league racing? Don't ever tangle with your teammates. And dare say they're going to be fun debrief there, the Univirtuoso team, as Lunacy now goes for a spin. So we're now not last. We're into P19 now, but effectively it will be not last again because Lunacy does retire on the front straight there. So unfortunately for him, his race has not been going great guns, unfortunately. As looks like Sidepod and Iceman are going to battle it. And again, this is for 15th and 16th in the race.
Yeah, it is.
So it's just ignore that black screen on the left-hand side there. That's mainly to do with when you stream through your PS4, I believe. Probably, I don't know whether that's the same thing on the Xbox. Probably not, but Iceman does get the move on Sidepod. So that's 15th for him and 16th back to 16th for Sidepod. As a Kickbutt Kiwi does come in at the end of lap 7, obviously with the front wing damage, and no surprise there. Had to pit for the front wing. Is that Sidepod's in neutral there. Not an ideal gear, I would say, for Sidepod, but he'll be under attack here from the Prema car of Dr. Dre. Going down into turn 11. A little bit close there. Dre's obviously in the mix. Schumacher car for Premo, and Sidepod manages to hang on for the time being. Dre, I think, may have got a little bit sideways there, so that's ruined his run coming down the front straight there, unfortunately for him. But back to our point of view, I haven't seen us for quite a while now, but we go for a half spin. Can we catch the car? Not quite. I was hoping to sort of maybe catch the car a little bit there, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. So, I mean, but at this stage of the race and where we positioned, I just sort of gave up where we were and just decided, you know what, most can't come in. We'll change onto a set of the soft compounder tyres and just literally just go for the fastest lap. Really, not a lot we could lose here at this point in the first race of the season. I mean, like I said, it's only the first race of the season, so we've still got another few rounds ahead of us here. So still the learning processes here at Bahrain. Next round is at Azerbaijan, obviously. But would you believe that the safety car now has been deployed? So we've literally timed this to perfection, you could say. But whether the safety car will stay out for long, because if you have seen other league videos, but maybe I don't, or whether it be live streams or whatnot, safety car I think usually does not come out. Usually it will have a 2-lap sprint at the end as we fall in behind Kick Butt Kiwi there for back into last place officially, obviously with Lunacy out of the Grand Prix. There's Toddy and Wafer going side by side coming through turn 11. I think Toddy's now got the move done. He does. But does Wafer fight back here? Currently in 10th. He hasn't had quite a good race that he did in the first race. But you see, trying to get the drive out of here as Toddy now is covering the inside line, obviously. But, oh, that's a little bit close for comfort there. This Wafer, I think, gets the move done. Very close to the back end there was Toddy, but sideways coming out of the corner there as Wafer already covering the inside line. He's going to literally go down the pit lane wall here, down the front straight. I don't think it's much avail here because Toddy will go around the outside. There's a little bit of contact again between these two. As Toddy goes in very deep, just make sure he can get the inside line for the next corner, which he does. But then obviously the second DRS straight here, which obviously Wafer will fight back here, obviously. So I don't know whether Toddy's going to... Yes, he will cover down the inside line. Bit of a late one there. Not too bad. But he's trying to make sure to crisscross. Look out, here comes Wafer in Nick De Vries's car in the ART. His teammate, obviously, Iceman in the other is Nikita Maspen's car. There's a difference. Obviously, Nikita's car's got the Russian flag on it. So there's more contact between these two. Still banging wheels as Plevs around there. So obviously going side by side, and Toddy I think does a little cheeky there, and might actually try to do another move up the inside there, but Toddy does up into 8th place. So I don't think anybody DNF'd from what I saw then for this when the safety car got deployed. So we'll have a look on board here with Plevs. You see that's who we got, Crossy, and I think that's Big Donga there in the Campos car. Going side by side here into turn 4. There's literally action everywhere, plenty in this race. Don't get me wrong. So that's why probably, well, there wasn't much on my screen, in my point of view anyway, so I had to do something. Make sure this video is entertaining. There's Crossy up the inside. There's a little bit of contact with he and Big Donga. So allow Plez up the inside. There's contact and both end up in the wall. Plez has got no front wing, obviously. From that, there's wings scattered everywhere. Safety car somehow gets deployed. I'm surprised that's actually a safety car, to be honest. Don't know how that's not a virtual safety car. Because, I mean, if someone DNFs out of the race, there should be a proper safety car. But safety car frequency in this game is really... It's just gone weird, basically, in these last few months. Just literally just cannot wait to get onto F1 2020 sort of thing. But... There's Plevs in for the front wing change. Had to wait a little bit of time, obviously, there was a few other guys that have come into the pit lane, and actually, my teammates actually jumped Plevs in the pit stop here. So, so these are a couple of guys that actually going to take a gamble here. I was not surprised that a few guys were going to take a bit of a punt here on where the safety car was going to stay. It would be on the little bit of fresh rubber there. So side pod was in, Plevs was in, my teammate was in. Somebody else was in the lane as well. Big Donga was in. Obviously, probably had to change the front wing maybe as well. So there's Dan leaving the lane, and he manages to get just ahead of Plevs. Maybe a little bit of luck with the ghosting there, but yeah, in the end, didn't do much. Didn't help us much. Obviously, we're still way behind, but we're still trying to push on and catch up to the safety car as best we can here. But unfortunately, that was not to be because the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap.
And remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
So, yeah, that plan's now officially gone out the window there. So, yeah, basically, this race has just gone to crap, really. It's yellow flags a bit further on. So, I think there's a few battles been going on a bit further up the grid here. So, let's have a look on board with Toddy here, going down into turn 1. This is obviously on the restart here. A lot more action happened here on this restart compared to what was going on my screen. I think Schmitty made a move here on Spilly. That's for position 3 in the races. Toddy and Crossy battling away for 5th place as Toddy gets that move done. I don't think these battles will be quite done yet in this race. I think, yeah, Spilly's still battling away there. He's trying to make a crisscross there on Schmitty, but not quite close enough there. In the end, there's yellow flags. I think it was one of the Primo cars.
Is that you, Toddy?
I was gonna. I had a feel. I think
Yeah,
it is for
back.
Dre's. There, Ellie goes side pot again. He'd be hating that corner after this race. There's a couple of spots lost there for both Plebs and Dan the racer there. Obviously my teammate, but whereas we run wide to pick up a 3-second time penalty, so that won't help our cause there. And catching this battle for a position 18 there with their kick butt Kiwi in the foreground there as he does some interesting weaving, as we obviously set our personal best of the race with a 42.207 there. As he was just doing a little bit of weaving there, this kick butt Kiwi. So I don't know what the go was with there, whether that was just obviously was trying to break my slipstream here, but this obviously quite different to what I was doing with him in the previous race, but he's literally just trying to break the slipstream there. I don't know, not entirely sure why, but anyway, that is the way as well. Spilly's now out of the Grand Prix, so something must have occurred with him, and he was in a decent position as well. So, and obviously it is like a round system, so whoever gets the most points of the round, most points during the weekend will get the round victory. There's on board there with Toddy. This was going on. The battle's going on in front here on the last lap of the Grand Prix. So Zach and Spilly that are battling away. There's contact between those two into turn 4. Oh, Toddy nearly gets out of shape there. Well, does get out of shape, but nearly loses it. Zach gets up the inside there into turn 6. It's making sure Spilly dives for a late move down the inside there as goes in deep there as Zach tries to make a move down the inside. There's contact between those two, and that might explain what happened there. I remember in the Discord chat afterwards that Spilly was not too overly thrilled with Zach there at the end of that race, but this was obviously back. This is Dan the racer with all that carnage that was going on in front there. Is getting back to the right at the back of Spilly's car. My word, that was very close. I'm not sure whether I think ghosting is turned on for this. For this series as well, but getting very close there. Oh, it's a little bit of contact between Sidepod and Plebs. So literally everybody's tried everything they can for the final points paying position here. As there's Billy's car somehow still driving around there. He has retired, like I said, he has retired from the race, but his car just trying to find obviously a safe spot to park up there. But on board again with Toddy. This is literally a battle in front here for the race victory. I think Schmitty went for a late lunge there at the final corner on Pure Goal, but it didn't quite work out in the end. So I think Pure's going to win the Grand Prix, the sprint race, I should say. So he'll get the race victory ahead of Schmitty and Toddy. There's a bit more weaving going on here. It's literally Kickbutt Kiwi's trying everything he can to try and get past me. Somebody set the fast lap of the race. I couldn't quite tell who it was. You probably well have seen them. You probably saw it then anyway, but we tried to go for the battle to the line here, but it was, well, we did get P17, I think, in the end there, so it must have had a bit more penalties than us in the end, unfortunately. So there's the podium for the sprint race. I will show you the final results for the sprint race and what happened for the overall round victory. So Pure Gold wins for Dabs, ahead of Schmitty in for Sauber Junior Team powered by Sharu, and then Toddy ends up P3 after that early spin. He was literally last after lap 1 and somehow powered his way back onto the podium. So that was the top 3. Of course, like I said, top 8 only score points in this one. So Gaming Wafer in 4th, BK 5th, Breno, Iceman in 7th, Toei Z, Rudy NZ in 8th, Zach 9th is Dr. Dre Ranzeki 10. Then you got Aussie, Sus, BCT, Crossy, Big Donga, Plebs, my teammate Dan the Racer, Sidepop, myself, Kickbutt Kiwi had a couple of seconds more penalties, and Spilly and I can't remember who the other one was, Lunacy at the DNF. But I think Schmitty ran the overall round in the end there, but we finished up I think 13th for the round victory anyway. But anyway, the points for the round victory end up pretty much being the same as you can see on your screen there. So we're obviously P4, might be P14 there, my apologies. Might have got that wrong a little bit there. But there's the constructors. So Sauber Junior Team have a 13-point lead over ART. And then Univirtuoso a couple of points behind. Then Dams, Trident, Carlin, Campos, and then our team, MP Motorsport, with the 1 single point, and Prema and BWT Arden, the only teams yet to score points. And there's probably the overall, like you see there, the overall results there. Like I said, there's a few guys, obviously. They said it was a pool, all the 3 different pools there with the drivers. So you may see a few different drivers turn up, whether that's be the main A and B drivers, or like A and the reserve driver, or B and the reserve driver. But yeah, that was the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more Race Spec F1 Esports content on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, I'll leave the links down below to the Race Spec social channels, their Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts, plus all their streaming channels like the YouTube, their Twitch, their Mixer channels. You can all check them out below. But yeah, until the next round, which is Azerbaijan, I believe it is. It is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.